Yesenia, welcome back to my channel. So if you have seen this outfit before, it's because I'm trying to film as many videos as I possibly can while I still have makeup on. So today I am going to be giving you guys an update / introduction because I have officially finished the first book, The Hunger Games, and I have started Catching Fire already. And I am actually a good chunk of the way in. I started it yesterday and now I'm on chapter 10. And I'm already in part 2, so they're going into the quarter quell. So my thoughts on the first part of the book. Oh my goodness. There is a big disconnect. I don't want to say a big disconnect. There is a disconnect between the movie and the books. So the movie definitely portrayed the characters differently than how they were portrayed in the books. So Catching Fire, we're still starting off with Katniss. We're still in her head, you know, listening to her inner monologue, her thought process about everything. She definitely does have a new outlook on life now because she has left the Hunger Games, and Catching Fire takes place about 6 months after the whole Hunger Games has happened, and now Katniss is trying her best to return back to normal life. However, her life will never be the same again. And it definitely... But yeah, so we start off with, you know, Katniss, like I said, trying to return back to her normal life. And then her and Peeta are going on the tour because it's about 6 months later, and Katniss did say that she thinks, you know, this is the Capitol's way of saying the Hunger Games never end. And she thinks like this is just the Capitol's way of, you know, instilling fear into people and making sure that they never forget the Hunger Games. And so most of the scenes that happened in the movies happened in the book. However, I feel like a lot of the work that was written in the book was taken out of context in the movies. So in the movie, Haymitch is portrayed as, you know, a person who's getting his shit together. Sorry about the swearing, but that's how Haymitch was portrayed in the movies. He was portrayed as somebody who was, you know, really trying to make sure that this rebellion is going through, and it looked like, even though Haymitch did appear drunk at the beginning of the movie, it looked like that throughout the movie he was drinking less and less and less, and that was actually not true. And then it was actually in this book where Katniss realized why Haymitch drank all the time. I mean, after reading the first, I feel like after watching the movies, you just see Haymitch as a drunk. But after reading the books, it's like you really start to understand why Haymitch drinks all of the time. So yeah, that's why I feel like a lot of things were taken out of context. Like, Haymitch is still a drunk in the second book, but he really wasn't portrayed that way in the movies. And I feel as though Peeta was portrayed as, I don't want to say, I think a wimp is the nicest way of saying it. He was portrayed as a wimp in the movies. In the book, he's standing up for himself. He was telling Katniss, like, you can't keep secrets from me anymore. And he's like really standing up for himself and standing up to Katniss and Haymitch, and he feels left out, and he's straight up telling them, I don't want to feel left out anymore. So those are my current thoughts on what I have read so far. Because it's all just preparation for the quarter quells, obviously, and then we maybe obviously all know what happens in the quarter quells. I do want to say is that this is something that the movie definitely, I don't think it mentions, but Haymitch won the last quarter quell, which sent double the amount of tributes. So there were 48 tributes in that arena, and Haymitch won that year. So I completely I'm not saying that it's healthy for him, but I completely understand why Haymitch drinks all the time. Surviving the Hunger Games with 48 tributes. All of the political aspects are still there, so yeah, all the political aspects are still there, and you know, now Peeta's really starting to see how, or he's really starting to voice his opinion more on how it's really not fair, especially the scene where they finish the tour, but they were almost done with the tour, and they end up at the Capitol, and then there was this giant party, and you know, Peeta and Katniss were eating everything in sight, and then they stopped eating, and then the Capitol people were like, why did you stop eating? Here, you drink this, so that way you can make yourself sick, so you can eat more. And it really angered Peeta that there were children literally starving in District 12, and then the people at the Capitol were making themselves sick, so that way they can eat more. And it's just, it tears at you. It definitely tears at you. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Catching Fire so far. I know that seemed a little all over the place, and that was because I listened to a full like 9 to 10 chapters before giving an update. So I'm gonna make my next update a lot sooner. I'm not gonna like read the whole quarter quell and then give you guys an update. A lot shorter. I really hope you guys do stick around for the reading vlog for Catching Fire and listening to my thoughts. I also want to know, what are your guys' thoughts? Are you rereading The Hunger Games? Have your thoughts changed? Did you add to your thoughts? Are you thinking about certain things? Because a lot of these political aspects that are in this trilogy, in this book series, you know, they exist now. It's the ultimate idea is we are living in an unfair system, and you know, the people in the who are in the system have no way of getting out, and it's not fair. So that is my ultimate idea throughout rereading the whole trilogy, is that these people are forced to participate in a broken system and they have no chance of winning, and it's definitely not fair. So if any other thoughts pop up, I'll definitely give you guys another update for this reading vlog. So I will catch up with you guys later because I'm very tired. I really want to take my makeup off and go to bed, but I still need to eat. So I'll check in with you guys later. Hey guys, so I'm gonna provide a quick update on Catching Fire because I did finish it today. And so this video is just gonna be update style. It's not really gonna be reading vlog style. I'm gonna try to do Mockingjay as a reading vlog style, but the last few days they just kind of got away from me, so that's why I didn't think. But anyway, so I finished the last part of Catching Fire. Like I said, I finished it this morning, and I just wanted to provide my thoughts, some feedback on what I thought of Catching Fire. So there were just a few things that I wanted to point out that the movie didn't point out, and this is why. So this is why I wanted to reread The Hunger Games, because the movies have a tendency to leave out a lot of important information that the books provide. And especially, like I have stated in my reading vlog about rereading The Hunger Games, this book is primarily in Katniss's head. So we're going through Katniss's thought process as she's going through The Hunger Games, and that's why the movies missed a lot. There's so much background information that Katniss provides that really does add to the story that can't be portrayed in the movie because we're in Katniss's head. So some background information that the movie missed. It was, so obviously Catching Fire takes place almost like 6 to 8 months after Katniss was in the 74th annual Hunger Games, and now we're in the 75th annual Hunger Games, and then every 25 years they do a quarter quell. So they essentially step it up a notch to remind the people of these districts that the Capitol is still in charge, and it's just ruthless. So I remember the 50th one because Haymitch won the 50th quarter quell, where they sent in double the tributes. So there were 48 people in that arena instead of the normal 24, and Haymitch won that year. And then this is one thing I wish they would have shown in the movie, but Katniss and Peeta did end up watching Haymitch's Hunger Games to learn something from it. But anyway, what I forgot was the 25th quarter quell. So the 25th quarter quell, the very first one, the districts had to vote which tribute was gonna go in. Honestly, and Katniss did say that she thought that was so much worse than sending double the tributes in, because like how could one district vote on who goes in? Like, that is just absolutely terrible. And then we obviously know that the 75th Quarter Quell, the pool of tributes was to be reaped from the previous victor, so that's when Katniss realized that she was going back in. This whole time, like, Katniss has been being bad since she got home. You know, she's still breaking the rules and everything, and then Katniss was wondering the whole time how President Snow was going to punish her, and then, ta-da, this is how he punished her, by sending her back into the games. So one thing I do want to say, if you guys are noticing, I'm looking down at some notes because this was an audiobook, so I couldn't like highlight or write anything or tab anything because it's an audiobook. So I do have the trilogy on my Kindle, but I wasn't reading along with listening to it, so that's why I just have some notes here. One thing I do want to mention, and I think several other people said this too, the actor who portrayed Peeta, who played Peeta Mellark, did a terrible job. I'm putting that out there. I don't know if, I know some other people feel the way I do. If you're watching this video, I don't know if you feel the same way I do, but especially after listening to Catching Fire, I have come to the conclusion that the actor who played Peeta Mellark did an absolute terrible job. I feel like Peeta's personality is more gentle but more firm in the books, and it's very obvious. I honestly felt like Peeta Mellark was the Ron Weasley of the Hunger Games. Let's all admit it, Ron is a wimp. He's a wimp. And Peeta, the actor who played Peeta in the movies, was portrayed as a wimp. I don't get it. Peeta is portrayed as a much stronger character in the book, and he really did help Katniss cope with a lot of her fears and her anxiety, and he really truly was good for her. I didn't see that in the movies. At this point, even though I know what happens, and anyone who's watching this probably knows what happened, at this point it is very obvious that Peeta and Katniss were meant for each other, because he's kind of like the yin to her yang. Gale is not a good option for Katniss, and we're gonna get about thoughts and feelings about Gale when we reread the Mockingjay. I don't think I'm prepared for that scene, but I do want to say that it's just that Peeta is portrayed completely differently in the books. He's a much stronger character, and he's not that strong of a character in the movies, and that I can see why some people are now frustrated. And I'm also frustrated at the fact that the movie missed a lot of the important scenes that the book portrayed. So that's how it was. Like, they got a lot of the major action scenes and they like really emphasized it, but there was like a lot of little things that they could have incorporated that could have made the movie so much better. But anyway, we're not here to talk about like the movie and the books, but I like to compare the two sometimes. So Catching Fire, wow, I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I have similar thoughts after reading The Hunger Games, re-listening to it. Still a lot of political aspects, and then of course, the end of the book. Sparks the rebellion. So, one thing I did want to see at the end of the book, I wish I could have seen this in the movie, but once Katniss found out that Peeta was taken by the Capitol, she scratched the crap out of Haymitch's face. I would have loved to see that, but that's just me. I can definitely see why they took that out, but I personally would have loved to see it. But anyway, my overall thoughts, yeah, it's just still there's still a rebellion, like, trying to go into place, and then we have the least less likely person who was going to help them out, so yeah, though, that's what I think of Catching Fire. I know that it didn't seem like there was much to talk about, but that was because my thoughts really haven't changed since the first book. Like I said, there's a lot of political aspects behind this that are being addressed, and more of them are going to be addressed in Mockingjay. So I'm going to keep this short. I'm actually glad I kind of did an update style. I could have done more frequent updates, but that's okay. But yeah, I really did enjoy reading Catching Fire. I really liked the character development of Peeta and Katniss throughout this book. I really felt like they grew so much, and that's why I was so mad. Like, especially after finishing Catching Fire, I was so pissed that, like, did the actor who played Peeta, I don't remember his name. I know his last name is Hutchinson or something. Did he even read the books? Because Peeta looks like a wimp in the movies, but he's a much better character in the books. That's what really angers me. If anything, if there's one thing that they could change, that is the one thing that they should change. So yeah, I really loved seeing the character development between Peeta and Katniss throughout the book. Katniss, even though she's still resistant, she grew a lot mentally. She's still trying to deny the fact that she loves Peeta, but it's very, very obvious at this point that she loves him, and we're just gonna leave it at that. All right, guys. I really hope you guys like this update, and I know it seemed like I didn't touch on a lot, but that was because my thoughts were still the same on the political aspect. Some of the scenes really made me angry because, like, when Cinna got beat up, oh my god. Anyway, I hope you guys join me for the next update for Mockingjay. That one I want to do reading vlog style, so I'm going to start that. I'm probably not going to start Mockingjay today. I'll probably start it tomorrow. And I think that's it, so I'm going to wrap up this update, and I hope you guys have a great... I'm trying to grab my little Bluetooth remote. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!